What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And my name is Hoppy Parlow, and you're about to watch Shujinkydink. Our top story today, the Injustice 2 Pro Series, wraps up tomorrow with the finals, starting at 9 a.m. Central Time in Chicago. That's right, if you're on the West Coast, that's 7 a.m. You're on the East Coast, you get to sleep in, you lucky bugger. 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And what better could we be doing at that time of day on a Tuesday? Maybe going to work, perhaps. Been many opinions about the start time of this event and the fact that it's in the middle of the week. Not only did it screw over some of the competitors who are really trying to focus on some schoolwork, who also want to compete. Also, it's a very bad viewing time. It's one of the worst viewing times, actually, for any sort of video game. Usually, the peak hours are between 4 and 8-ish p.m. So this kind of concerns me, wondering if NRS is really just kind of like, well, how do we do this during business hours instead of, putting on an actual show and event? So we'll kind of see what the actual show time looks like, because I don't remember the last time I woke up at 7 a.m. for anything other than work. I wouldn't wake up at 7 a.m. for a blowjob. I wouldn't wake up at 7 a.m. to go in a hot tub. I wouldn't wake up at 7 a.m. to watch a mud wrestling fight between Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. That's a lie, I'd be up by 5. And we're all kind of hoping for one thing out of this Injustice 2 Pro Series, is Mortal Kombat 11. Everybody is hoping for Mortal Kombat 11 at this Pro Series. I hope that when I get out of work tomorrow afternoon, there's a trailer, or someone tags me on Twitter, Mortal Kombat, even if it's just a little logo, like a 5-second thing with a little logo, this big. I don't really care, you can barely see it through it, but just a spot to let us know that something's in the works. Something's in the works. At the very minimum, if they hope to keep Injustice 2 alive until Mortal Kombat 11 or whatever they're working on, it comes out, they need some sort of a balance patch to freshen up the game, to really, revive people's interest in it. Because right now, it's pretty fleshed out as it is. Top tier has been established, bottom tier has been kind of established. Some things are kind of still be working out, but everyone that really played it passionately is kind of left. So a big patch to really mix things up a bit, I think would be healthy for the game and might be able to squeeze another year of life out of it until we wait for the next game. Our next topic of discussion, we had a little back and forth here on Twitter about a week or so ago with a gentleman by the name of Chernyvolk. So I wanted to read to you his statement and see what your guys' thoughts were. He says, "We should ban openly far-right people from events. These people can't be trusted to not shoot up a tournament when they lose, especially considering the majority of conservatives are just straight trash at esports." This, from what I can understand, was originally brought up by somebody making a threat towards an esports event, and so he reacted in this manner. Some people agreed, some people disagree. My personal opinion, is that video games are where we all kind of come to put aside our differences and play the games that we're passionate about. Not once have I had anybody bring up any sort of politics or anything to me at an event because they lost or anything like that. I know we did have an unfortunate situation recently. They're doing things to beef up security events, which is unfortunate that it's come to that, but one of those things that it's never going to happen to us. But now it did, and everyone's taking safety precautions. Having said that, if there is a person who has been deemed a threat or has threatened anything in any way, like what happened, a gentleman in Twitch chat last year threatened Evo, and from what I understood, that gentleman was banned. That's absolutely appropriate. But putting a blanket ban over people because of things that they believe, even if you don't agree with them, I think is not the right move to go, and definitely inhibits the free speech that a lot of countries have enjoyed over the years. And it just isn't the right answer. Just taking it step by step and, decision by decision is, probably the safest thing to do right now. Soul Calibur had a somewhat successful launch last month. Lots of good things to say about the gameplay. Couple glitches, however, couple little ups in their launch. One is Xbox players cannot play online. Apparently a schwack ton, that is an official measurement, look it up, it's not, I lied, of Xbox players have been getting a error message about every time they try to sign in online, they can't get online. You know, so they bought this game and they just play it offline. They can't play it online with their friends. They can't take advantage of what I believe is a superior netcode with definitely previous Bandai Namco games. I really enjoy the Soul Calibur netcode, and I really respected it more having played it at an offline tournament recently. There, it didn't really feel much different at all. Definitely commend them for that. But they did announce on Twitter that they are working on a fix. Also, there has been a glitch where Voldo can get infinite critical edges and infinite soul charges just by using a certain move, and that's kind of, you know, putting a lot of TOs on edge. Do they ban the character? Do you just ban this one practice? My personal opinion, because you're here, I'm going to give it to you, is that I would just ban the character. It would be way too hard for me to actually sit down and watch every match or have a TO deem, oh, you used that X too many times. Ban the character until he's fixed. It's unfortunate you have to do that, but if you're running a big tournament, that seems to be the best way to go. And lastly on our list today, Omen of Sorrow was finally released. It was a title being worked on by the very well-known NRS player ETC McFly, traveling all over the world. You see him everywhere promoting the game. I did get a chance to play the beta. I loved it. It really feels like it really has an NRS feel with its own kind of original, its own feel to it. It's not, you know, not like a blatant copy paste kind of a deal. It's its own game. Really enjoy it, but I feel as an NRS player you'll kind of get a grasp of it. It being a 2D fighter. So yeah, some mixed reviews so far as to the balance of the games. I'm sure we'll see some updates coming on down the road, but you haven't tried it, give it a shot. You might enjoy it a little bit more than you think. And as always, guys, that's it for this episode of Shujinkydink. As we always come to an end at some point, that would just be ridiculous if we didn't. So make sure to smash that like button, smash that notification bell so you get all the notifications, because we get demonetized lately and I really need to feed my family.